Ladies and gentlemen, are you having a good time?
Yes.
God, what a lively crowd. Let me try it again. Dr. Bucks is in the house. How are you? What a wonderful man. Dr. Bucks, got a lot of patience. Okay, those of you who are wondering who I am, my name is Muthu Murugan, born in Chatsworth, the capital of India. Proud to be an Indian. Absolutely proud. Got my MBA, married but available. I've got 2 daughters, both are girls. Today you have to confirm that. And first time I'm performing in this venue, you know. It's the first time I'm performing in this venue. And I didn't know how to find this place. So I came at 45th cutting and there was a guy on the road. I said, my brother, could you please tell me which is the quickest way to get to 20 on Baham Road? He says, how are you going, my friend? Are you going by foot or are you going by car? I said, I'm going by car. He says, that's the quickest way. I love this country, South Africa. Isn't this a beautiful country? I mean, look at us. People are jobless. People are homeless. This country is lawless. The education system is meaningless. We've got political parties that are useless. And we're expecting this country to grow. I heard the gentleman speak out here. I'm going to get fired tomorrow because I'm a national manager for a man who owns 22 garages, Caltex garages, and I'm in competition because he says, how can I be a traitor and go do Pedro's chicken when I work for Grill to Go? And immediately they're suspecting me of foul play. So I'm in serious trouble, you know what I'm trying to say? Now let me just tell you how I got into this function, Pedro's chicken. See, Dr. Bucks and I goes back very, very, very many years ago. I think I've been handling his functions for the last 20 years. I am 63, I would have been 64. 1 year I was sick. In 5 years' time, I told my wife I'll be 69. That'll be the best position to be in. You worked that one out. Okay. So anyway, I was at the casino. Now, the casino is the holiest place in the world you can ever be. If you want to see people pray, go into a casino. Every guy is praying to catch the jackpot. So my wife was busy gambling. So now when you're looking for your wife at a casino and all the rows are there, it's very difficult to find your wife. Because I'm looking this way and I can't find her. What happens? While I'm looking and going, hey, I bump into Dr. Bucks. I said, oh, sorry, sir, I'm looking for my fro, like, you know. I'm looking for my wife too. I said, how does your wife look? He says, my wife is slim and slender, 34, 32, 34, wearing a mini skirt, stiletto shoes, shoulder length hair, absolutely fair, absolutely beautiful. He says, how does your wife look? I said, forget about my wife, let's go look for your wife, you know. So that's how I met Dr. Bucks. I mean, clap if you want to, clap if you want to, you know. This is the beauty about life, you know. You must be able to laugh at yourself. You know, people are so sad today with COVID. I mean, this is one time nobody wants to be positive. Amazing, and yet we go to meetings that tell us be positive. You know, when I'm looked here, I met a lot of the suppliers I know. Met PK from the government funding. He's my good friend. Who wouldn't want to be a funder's friend? In a country like, so I look at this country, I mean, sometimes I'm struck with fear. You know, a lot of fear. And let me just show you what's happening. I was doing the Kings and Queens of Comedy. And I just came from Johannesburg, rushing to do the Kings and Queens of Comedy at the ICC. Now that's where the heavyweights are. The heavyweights of the country. Anyway, I get into my car. I'm rushing to get to ICC. And I'm driving a Charo's car. GTI. Gift to Indians. So I'm sitting in this car and I'm eating 280. I'm eating 280 to get to ICC on time. And I don't have to tell you who comes out of the bush. Traffic cop. Jumps on the road. You, come. I've been waiting for you the whole day. I said I came as fast as I could. So I said, let me have some fun because I know this guy's going to put me in. Like, he says, can I have a look at your license, my friend? I said, what is that license? He says, a little thing that's got your face in it. So what I did, I took one mirror, I gave it to him. And he looked at the mirror, he says, how, my friend? I didn't know you are a policeman too, carry on. So anyway, I get to ICC. Now in ICC, the easiest crowds to entertain are colored people, black people, white people. Indians, if they pay 10 rand, they want the money's worth. You got to sweat to entertain them. Sweat. So anyway, I get on the stage now, I'm trying to show the crowd, I'm a versatile guy. So I see white people, I say Koyamora. I see some Indian people, I said Vanakkam. I see some Hindi-speaking people, I said Namaste. And then I saw a black guy sitting in the front. I went up to him, I said, Siyabonga Baba. He says, hey, my name's Logi Naidu. And that guy is so dark, it's unfair. So anyway, the crowd wants to see who's a better comedian, you know what I mean? Now Dr. Riyad Musa was the penultimate. How was the last comedian? Now they want to test who's a better comedian. So I reckon, hey Riyad, I can't match these people, man. You're a brilliant guy. You all study for 7 years and after that you're still practicing. I mean, I'm an ex-school teacher. If you look at my eyes, you'll see my pupils. So I reckon, you know what? What are we going to do here? I said to the crowd, okay, shout out any word, we'll make a poem out of it. I said, you gave me Riyad? He says, yeah, go for it, Muthu. Hey, one lady trapped us, man. She reckoned Timbuktu. Riyaz was a brilliant guy, man. He can far across the desert sand, slowly move the caravan. Men on camels 2 by 2, the destination was Timbuktu. Hey, I said, how do I match this old boss? This is going to be difficult now. Hey, I'm thinking. I said, my friend, Tim and I, on a camping trip we went. 3 girls we met in an upright tent. They were 3 and we were 2. So I bucked 1 and Tim bucked 2. Had to be sharp. Had to think fast. Women, I don't know if you guys had this experience. When you drink, your wife shouts like she's drunk. I know with the Muslims, they don't drink, taboo. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Why do women? And women have this dirty, filthy, stinking habit of comparing their husbands with somebody else's husband. I told my wife, don't do that. She says, but Muthu, why can't you, after 6 months of marriage, why can't you be like Ravi who lives opposite the road? I said, what about Ravi? She says, must see him, man. Every morning, he kisses his wife before he goes to work. I said, so what? She says, why can't you do that? I said, who said I can't do that? Just introduce me to her. You gotta be sharp, But women like to spoil you too. God's greatest gift to mankind is women. So anyway, I was doing the state capture. Watch my show, it's coming out. I couldn't do it in COVID. So I did the premiere night at the Boardwalk. So before I can get in there, I'm sitting in a plane. So I'm sitting on the aisle seat, middle seat was vacant. There was a white guy sitting on the window seat, and we're waiting for one passenger, just one passenger. And finally, this passenger enters, man. It was the most beautiful woman I ever saw. Dr. Bucks, I'm not lying to you. Some women are born, some are created. This one was handcrafted, man. Walked out of a magazine. Now, I'm a Christian by faith. And God said, ask and I shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. I said, Lord, please let this woman sit next to me. And she came and sat next to me. Beautiful. Boss, if you had to compare me with her, it's like comparing shit with shampoo. Now you become conscious when you're sitting next to a beautiful woman. So I smelled my armpits to see if the Hugo Boss still had its fragrance, you know what I mean? Now, how do I start a conversation? I said, where are you off to, man? He says, me, I'm on my way to do a sex conference. Hey, I felt embarrassed now. Woman, sex conference? How do I cope with this? You know what I'm trying to say? Difficult, it's difficult. Because she's a woman. So how much does she know about sex? So I said, what's going to be your profile? She said, no, I'm going to tell the world that black men are the best endowed in the world. I said, are you serious? She says, black men are the best lovers in the world. I said, you must be joking. She says, I'm telling you all this. What's your name? I said, Sipo Gumede. But it's amazing. Women, I have a very beautiful wife. And when I walk in town with my wife, the guys will say me, check Beauty and the Beast. And one guy asked me, where did you meet your wife? I said, I met my wife in a travel agency. She was looking for a vacation. I was the last resort. And I remember my wife, when one day she comes right in front of the mirror, she just opens a blouse and she just says, I must increase my bust. I said, where you learned that from? So the doctor said, if you say it 3 times in a row, your bust will grow bigger. Hey, what I did, I just pulled the blanket, the duvet. I stood in front of the mirror with my brief and I said, Ikri dikri doc. Caught that one up, boss. But that's the thing. That's the seriousness of life. But when I look at all this, and my wife loves to spoil me. When I was 50, she says, Muthu, I'm taking you to a place you've never been before. I'm trying to figure out which part of this country, which neighboring state I didn't perform with. Where is she going to take me to? And she takes me to a place in Springfield Park called Teasers. You've been there, sir? Teasers. Now, you know how hard it is to be at a place and act like you've never been there before? Boss. And there my wife is taking me, man. And as I walk through, the security guard reckon, how's it, Muthu? Whoa, boy. What do I do now? What do I do? She reckon, how you know this guy? You haven't been here before. I said they interchange security guards. Man, I perform in so many venues. They can't have one guy there at the place all the time because he'll allow people in free. You get used to the people. So anyway, I went and sat on the table. My wife sat next to me. Now these dancers, you know, these women in the bikini, like a barbed wire fence. It protects the property without spoiling the view. And she jumps on the table. And she saw me. She reckoned, Muthu, your favorite dance. Whoa! My fro grabbed me by the hand. She pulled me out of the club. Says, you are a bloody dirty liar. Because you tell me that you've never been to this place before. You tell me you're going on appointments. You act like you're going out on late night setups. Meanwhile, you're coming and sitting over here and she's, hey, the F's and B's were flying. She just opens the door. She throws me inside, man, bangs the door. The taxi guy turns around and looks at me. You reckon, nasty one you picked up tonight, Muthu? How does these things happen? How? You know, I love traveling. Any of you been to Egypt? Beautiful country. The pyramids, history, Tutankhamun, a beautiful country. The topography of the land will catch you, man. Beautiful. And there was I standing out there admiring this pyramid. And I'm thinking, God, in ancient civilization, how did these people take these gigantic rocks to such great heights without modern technology? How did they do this? And I'm trying to fathom this out. And I'm admiring. Next to me was a white woman. She looked at me. She looked at the pyramid. Looked at me. Looked at the pyramid. She says, where are you from, sir? I said, I'm from South Africa. She says, but you're an Indian. I said, yes, but I'm an Indian from South Africa. She said, but aren't you Indians from India? I said, how many times am I telling you I'm an Indian from South Africa? She says, what do you Indians do in South Africa? I said, come with me, let's go inside that pyramid. I'll show you how I'll make you a mummy. Amazing. True. Look at this country. People say we're in Guptas. What's wrong? What wrong did the Guptas do? Come on, show me. Show me. Who can prove to me that the Guptas did anything wrong? Nothing. They saw a weakness. They grabbed the opportunity. That's what business is about. Where there's a weakness, there's an opportunity. They saw a weak government, they grabbed the opportunity. And why are we holding it against them? For what reason? They did nothing wrong. I'll show you how brilliant the Guptas are. In the Indian community, when we make a child sleep, we say doo-doo, baby. The child must doo-doo. Right? Agreed? Yes or no? Make the baby doo-doo. See how clever the Guptas were? They took two sleeping partners. Jacob Zuma's son, Dudu Zane and Dudu Zile. Sleeping partners. Those guys don't even know how this was hit the country down. That's how brilliant they are. Julius Malema is a brilliant man. Let me tell you, he's a brilliant man. He asks the right questions, but he gives the wrong answer. He asks the question that every one of us has got in our minds, but just that he gives the wrong answer. Brilliant man. He named his party after his metric results, EFF. Don't laugh at the man. That man failed woodwork. G in woodwork. But he still made the cabinet. That's a brilliant man. I admire him. I really admire him. Business is not easy. We Indians are brilliant people in business. We're brilliant. Can you remember the early days of West Street? When all the furniture shops used to be next to each other. Can you remember Dr. Bucks? And you wonder, how do these people survive? Because each one of them conducted business in a unique way. Absolutely unique way. They were not afraid of competition. Don't chase your competitor. You'll make a mistake. You'll run the wrong race. Run your own race. Don't run a competitor's race. Because you'll focus on him and you'll neglect your business. And there was this businesses where it started in Pine Town. 3 furniture shops next to each other. Black man owned the first one. White man owned the second one. Indian man owned the third one. Black man's window, best prices in South Africa. White man's window, quality product. Quality and service, not the only thing, it's everything. Indian's shop, main entrance. Don't let competitors dictate to you. You lose out. You're bound to lose out. It's all about being smart in business. It's smart. You notice something amazing about business. You notice most of the conglomerates in the world are owned by people who never went to university. But they employ graduates to run it for them. Think about it. I know. I'm running about 22 Celtic stores. Grill to goes, hooked on fish. The other ones we got. Crispy chicken now taken over. And we are in competition with Pedro's. I don't know whether I got a job tomorrow. But it's hard, it's difficult. Employees are all over the world, changing situations. I remember humble beginning. Used to work as a wine steward in Ilangeni Hotel. Not that I'm picking on the apartheid regime, but that time, most of the Indians were waiters. And there comes this white guy with this beautiful woman. He wants to impress his wife. He reckons, boy, get me the oldest wine in the house. And I bring him the oldest wine. Pours it, swirls it, twirls it, tasted it. He says, 1962, from the vineyards of Stellenbosch. Hey, look at the bottle, 1962, vineyards of Stellenbosch. Shock hit me, man. You can get me the next oldest wine in the house, boy. I'll go bring the next oldest wine. He pours it, swirls it, twirls it. Puts it in his mouth. 1958 from the vineyards of Paul. Look at it, vineyards of Paul. Hey, this guy is brilliant. He reckon, boy, bring me the next one in a glass for me. I said, I'll teach him a lesson. He thinks I'm stupid. I went in the toilet. I came back, put in his mouth, tasted it, twirled it. He reckon, this tastes like piss. I said, now tell me where I was born and where I come from. See, when the guys want to beat the system, they really beat the system. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are on a tight schedule for time. It's nice to be important, but I guess it's more important to be nice. But I'm going to leave you with just one food for thought. You can change the infrastructure of this country. You can put new buildings, you can put new roads. See, in America, they drive on the right-hand side of the road. In South Africa, we drive on what's left of the road. But this country won't change. This country will only change if there's a mind shift. Your business will only change if you change your thinking. You can put the best infrastructure, the best tools, but if your thinking don't change, nothing will ever change. So the father was reading a newspaper, and his 4-year-old son kept irritating him while he was reading the newspaper. He was absolutely frustrated with the interruption by his son. So he wanted to get rid of this little boy. So on the right-hand page was a world map. He tore it into 100 pieces. He made a jigsaw puzzle. He said, son, go and put this world map together for me. I'll give you 500 rands. He thought it would take the child 3 to 4 hours so that he could have peace reading the paper. In 3 minutes, the child put the world map together. The father was amazed. He says, how did you do it, son? He says, easy, Dad, easy. Dad, on the reverse side of the world map was a man's head. When I put the man's head right, the world came right. So when you go out of here, let's change the thinking. As I said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Just make today a victory. And anything is possible. I want to wish you guys all the best, even though you're my competitors. But we can share ideas. I was listening to you very carefully because whatever your weaknesses was going to become my strength. What do you want to say, son? Could you just come out in front for me 2 minutes? Come. I just want to talk. Come. Don't feel shy. Come on. What a nice, handsome guy. Come, goes. Come, even though you got a build like you look from Ethiopia. Come. Come. Don't feel shy. Don't feel shy. Just stand here with me, right? But just, no, I'm not going to finish. We're just going to play a little game, right? Little game. Participate. Because what you know will fill a book. What you don't know will fill a library. Okay? Just play the game. I'll show you how people think. Right? Watch this. Everybody do this for me. Take your right hand and stick it out for me. You're going to learn something. Stick it out, stick it out. Don't try to be too intelligent. When you're too intelligent, you look for the details, you forget the point. Right, stick your hand out. Now take your index finger, put it on your thumb. You got a circle, brilliant. Now put it against your chin. Do that for me, everybody. See, I said chin, sir. You see, you look but you don't listen. That is the biggest problem. Every one of us, we're looking but we're not listening. I'm going to educate you a little bit, okay, sir? You're a smart guy. We're going to play a game. All this dice, you got to imagine it's the dice. Hold it. Yeah. Take the dice, put it on your forehead. Yeah, just hold it. Does it remind you of the first time you had sex? Simple answer, yes or no?
No.
No, very good. Right. Take the second dice. Put it in your nose. Does that remind you of the first time?
No.
You're an honest guy. Take the third time. Put it on your chin. Does that remind you? No. Take all three. Mix it for me. Does that remind you of your first time? We all started that way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mr. I think you should give that man Mo Magic a big round of applause. He's a fantastic guy. And my time is up. I just want to say to you, gather your rosebuds while you may, because time is still a priority. Gather your rosebuds while you may, because time is still a-flying. The same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. The biggest problem with mankind is we know how to table our priorities, but we don't know how to prioritize our table. Thank you.